Hello there, everyone. So, another week where we're going to be diving into the special messages here in Patreon that the cards are going to be telling us. As you notice that there are two different sets of cards everywhere. Why? Because today, another MasterCard all the way in the far right wanted to pop out to give us an added message here with the bubble card. So remember, everything this month has to do with purification, success, and finances, like business stuff, right? So we're going to do A, B, or C, okay? And then that last one over there is for everyone else, okay? Take a second right now to think of A, B, or C. Which one resonates with you, okay? Let's see. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start first off with the main lesson. If you picked A, then we are diving strictly right now into finances. This rune right here talks about cattle, which is finance, okay? But what's the energy behind your finance? Ooh, the nothing. You need to remember that when you are in a state of nothingness, where you do not desire anything, where you are not looking for anything, but you are simply existing in the flow, letting things happen and come to you, that is where you are the most prosperous. But wait, let's look at this. They tell you that if you're doing things a little bit too fast paced, maybe out of some like emotional response of impatience, rush, you need to stop. Because if you do not, you might face making a fool out of yourself or a mockery out of yourself. So really temper yourself. Remember, come back to a state of nothingness, relax. If you have any stress over anything, especially finances, that's going to work against you, okay? So just remember, especially sometimes too, we start manifesting more abundance and then we're like, oh, we got to get like really serious about how we manage this money, how we do these things so that, we don't falter or we don't start like backtracking in general. Don't do that, okay? Remember the energies that got you to what you're doing right now, okay? And stay in that energy because that's going to bring more into your reality. So here they're saying that that's what's most necessary. The Chief of Pipes is somebody who knows a lot about patience, a lot about practicality, and when's the right moment to strike. So you really got to make sure that you are not stressing yourself out, that you're not pushing yourself out of balance, because right now you're starting to get out of balance, okay? So let go of that stress. It's not necessary, especially if you're getting to a higher state. And if these cards were the ones that you picked out and you're not making abundance just yet, well, you need to return to a state of nothingness, let go of the fear of not having any money, and that'll stop making a mockery out of yourself and allow money and abundance to come in, all right? So if you picked B, which is where I was at, I was feeling B. What do we have here? Ooh, the dominance card. Okay, all right. Let's see what we have here. Whoosh. Ooh, the Woody card, which has to do with prosperity, abundance, and growth. The Woody card is heavily tied to, obviously, the element wood, which grows and gives us structures to build upon. This card right here, when it comes up, it is dominant. It is basically telling us that we are on our path to get to where we need to, but we just have to make sure that we temper ourselves. We have patience because we can be extremely impatient at times and it makes us feel like we are not doing our correct job, okay? So here it's warning us that our main issue that we need to pay attention to, okay, the towers has to do with something that needs to be confronted and or addressed, is the fact that sometimes we get into habitual patterns that limit us in the sense of us trying to like self-destroy ourselves. So particularly for me, I tend to kind of just really get to these points where I burn myself out and then I don't want to do anything for a while because I don't have energy to do anything for a while. So here I have to stop doing this destructive pattern of extending myself and not having like a regimen. And that's what I've been really focusing on this month, is really focusing on just building a solid foundation and moving forward with that solid foundation while still working within my own energy realm, okay? So if this was you, just know that abundance is there, everything's coming. You just have to be patient, and you have to change some of your lifestyle habits because they might be working against you. Whether you drink when you get really stressed, or you smoke a lot of weed when you get really stressed, or maybe, you know, you want to do something more. And like, particularly with me, I wanted to start creating more content. I can't create content on my regular schedule that I was living off of. So I have to wake up earlier to start creating that content. And that's one of those cycles that card is telling me is a problem for me to break. And I have been breaking it slowly. So what about C? Let's dive into C. The energy is the sleep card. So yesterday we had a YouTube episode about the sleep card, relaxing. You need to take some time to relax. You need to chill, because if you don't, you are going to burn yourself out, especially reprioritizing. Because the next step is the horse. The horse is going to really take you to the next step, the next travel. It's very important that at this time you rather take some time to treat yourself, love yourself, or you end up just reprioritizing, thinking about whatever it is that needs to be changed. What are your goals? How are you going to get there? What does it mean to you? What does it feel like being there? Are you manifesting that right now? And then the card is saying that right now you're in a high state of manifestation. So if you really want to be prosperous, the last thing you have to do is worry about anything that is not working towards you, because that's going to be opening up manifestation gates to bring you more lack. So relax, let go of some stuff, reprioritize. You're in a high manifestation gate right now, so it's very important. The number 2 tells us to stay positive, so you have to stay positive, and don't worry about the finances. Don't worry about anything. Just keep moving forward, okay? So those are the main cards for this week, depending on what we've been dealing with. It seems like everyone is going through this shift where we have to work on ourselves right now. And today, the Earth's Schumann resonance went up from 8 hertz again to 63 hertz. 63 hertz in binaural beats is the astral. So today's a really juicy day to like really step into the astral realm, start manifesting. Doesn't matter which one of these groups you're in, because we're all obviously working on something. There's something in each one of us is kind of like, whether we have a bad habit that's not helping us succeed, or we're freaking out about something that's happening right now. How about we don't do that? We should not be freaking out, because remember, that's what the bubble card told us. We just have to be wise. We just have to be purified, okay? So here's the next major card for our Patreon. The sweet card, okay? So the sweet card really starts reminding us that we, you know, the sweetest things in life aren't always the triumph itself, but actually the journey that it takes to experience the ultimate triumph. And even when we hit a triumph, our journey doesn't end there. So our biggest and sweetest portion of our existence is the journey itself, and loving ourselves during that journey. As we love ourselves during that journey, we become more and more in the moment, present with love and light, okay? So this is what the sweet is reminding us, okay? That we should definitely care for ourselves by being present in the moment with our journey. This one's going to be accompanying the bubble card. So here we have the bubble card, and we have the sweet together. This was our reading for the first day. And now we're going to go ahead and read the final cards. Do not feel like you have rose-colored glasses. That is not the point of this right now. You have to stay focused. You cannot get overzealous, and you cannot let your ego get in the way. If you let your ego get in the way, you will fail, because that is not you fully accepting your journey. One of the things that these two cards in combination like to speak about, the bubbles and the sweet, is understanding that you don't know where you're going, and you should stop pretending to be anything that you're not. Many times we have to detach from the energies of who we want to be, who we see ourselves to be, which is all coming out of the ego. And instead of pursuing that higher image, we just exist, right? We just are. And by being, you can really, really start transforming, okay? And that is what this last card right here, a major arcana, death, 13. 13 is the number of the masters. Death is transformation. Okay, so we need to start focusing not only on purifying ourselves, but also purifying how we treat our spiritual journey in general and how we see ourselves in that spiritual journey. Do we have attachments to who we really want to be? These attachments are what's holding everyone in some sort of lockdown right now. It doesn't matter what step you're in. You're maybe attached to your habits and it's really problematic for you to let go of these habits. Maybe you're attached to the fear of what if it's not going to play out. Maybe you're really attached to everything that's going on and you're not really paying attention to what it is that you're manifesting because you're caught up in the chaos. Okay, these things are what we have to be working on this week. So here we have the final rune. Okay, this has to do with intuition and light and rising above. Okay, so you really want to focus on rising above by transforming, by doing what the major arcanas here are talking about. Okay, so but wait, we have one last wisdom piece here that the runes wanted to add in extra. So they really love you guys. Usually my runes will only answer a specific kind of question. Actually, all of my devices will only answer one question and ignore anything else, but they're actually chiming in. They want to help us all. This card has to do with, okay, means creating bonds. So sometimes it's not about the money and the wealth that we attain at this moment, but it's about the bonds that we create along the way, the people we meet, the things we end up teaming up for. Remember that you don't always have to do things on your own. And it's definitely been something that I've been learning most recently here with my spiritual path, creating the temple, is just seeing how for a long time I've felt like I've had to do everything on my own. And then now I have people who are just coming out of nowhere, my friends, my family, and they're like, hey, we believe in what you're doing. We've seen what you've been doing. We see it's part of your divine path. You really love this. Here, we're going to support you. Just like all of you here today, you're making this a dream. And sometimes I'd be lying to you in this portion right here, and what the suite is talking about. Sometimes I wonder if I am, even not producing the right content, or I'm boring you guys, or maybe I could be doing even more better than what I am right now. But it is a start off phase. You have to be patient. And that's part of my pattern. One of my patterns is just looking at like, oh, sometimes I can really get in my own head, right? I need to stop getting in my own head because I'm doing what I'm divinely inspired to do at this moment. And I know that as long as I continue walking my divine path, everything is gonna come into full alignment. All I have to do is, surrender. Remember what Isis told us. This is Ascended Master Antojai. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful day.